tell us a little bit more about the school building? I'm not familiar with what you're referring to as the old junior high school. I guess I wasn't here during junior high days. Does the building would the building perhaps have value to us as a county? I know typically we do not pick up our foreclosed properties and we allow them to go to sale, but would there be any function for that building? Or office space or administration of a department within the county?
Well, just for the record, the power's been cut to that building for several years. They just were running a generator shortly off and on for when they were doing some things at the end. So I would want a thorough inspection of that, because I know when we looked at the other school through our other agency, I would think there'd be some caution. I think Tom can speak to that back when we were involved at the city level.
Sure. That's a good point, Commissioner Sangster, and I would want to do the same. It's just I know recently, within the last year, we talked about renting a building for Straits Regional Ride to operate out of. Right. Because there have, it hasn't been that long ago that we were talking about leasing space, and if we get a building for next to nothing. Anyway, I'd just like to consider it before we close the door on it. Please consider it.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yep, please.
I did go to school there. So.
Boy, they changed everything.
That's kind of
Demolition.
To buy a demolition.
That was,
Do you have dirt floors?
That's a large building with tons of space.
It is.
And same thing, if we're looking to lease, maybe it would be worth looking at, especially with the limited space that's in this building and our District 4 building. I don't know, I just think it might be worth at least looking at.
You can't beat the price.
Yeah.
For Straits Regional Ride, you currently need bus parking. That's the problem.
I think they own the parking lot across the street, do they?
No,
No.
no, that does not go with that property. It's actually owned by, the same person that owns the old church.
Okay.
That would be adjacent to it,
Huron Street.
off Division.
The old St. Charles.
Catholic church.
I don't know, is that something that, Jeff, you think, I mean, you got a better pulse as far as space required here in the county building, how the entities have.
As Commissioner Sangster said, you'd have to look at the building. I mean, there may be some extensive costs, like for example, the roof. I mean, I know that has not had a roof since the building's been there. So it's the original roof. Gymnasium was built in 1950. So there's never been any roof replaced on that. So it could be a significant amount of cost if you needed a roof. Those are things that, if the county was going to purchase it, we should do an inspection.
I don't know that the time would allow due diligence, would it, Buffy? I mean, is this a decision we have to make at this point, correct?
Well, you would have time, but, I know the city is also interested in it, and I think they're bringing it to their, council.
Oh, okay.
At their next meeting. So, I mean, it would be a good building for office space. It does
Okay.
have some,
So the city has expressed an interest?
they have.
And it would be easy for us to allow to say yes to them, I would think, correct?
Yes.
Because the building likely would not bring much during sale, I'm assuming.
Well,
Particularly if it's
that's-
with cause for concern there about,
Yeah.
those are legitimate concerns,
That's-
roofs and things of that nature.
Oh, and not having any heating or cooling,
Yeah.
and hook to it, that those are the more, turbulent problems.
Yeah.
We learned the lesson from the gold front.
Yeah.
Administrator, do you have any comment?
It's a very large structure. It's been a few years since I've been in that. But as stated, it was a school, so there's a lot of office/classroom areas in the past. It was used for classroom use. Moving forward, as far as our transit there, the purchase of building through transit, we're pretty much only in a position where we can lease at this point in time. If we were to purchase a structure, we'd have to go through the state system for requesting, which takes several years to do that. And so we did do the study for transportation, had the cost analysis to construct a new building and things like that. Decided at this point, because of the cost, not to move forward. It was not, that particular structure, although can be used for office, would not easily be able to take the transportation fleet in as far as housing any kind of vehicles or anything like that. So I guess where I state is if the city is going to look at it, then they do something with it, or maybe want to have a conversation with us, that may be one thing. As far as investments, I mean, we do capital analysis on all our structures. I'm sure that would be equivalent to the numbers that we see for this building here to bring it up. Other than transit, there's a possibility to do other things, but the cost-benefit analysis would have to be done there. Like, it would probably be, at first blush, would be a lot of investment to get that building back up. So, if the city's looking at it, and there's some use, because it has been utilized in the past for a lot of different things, and maybe we can talk to them about it. To say, it's definitely not a slam dunk just to go in and take the property and use it, so with the investment that's needed.
With that being said, Mr. Chair, knowing the city might look at it, I'll make the motion to sign the waiver of the first right of refusal in accordance with Public Act 123.
Thank you, Dave.
And I would support that.
Thank you, Andy. Moved and supported. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Ostman,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That's carried 7-0. We're down to the
Thank
J,
you.
Baum and FOIA appeal. That's 80 on your iPad.
The county and the board of commissioners received Mr. Sullivan's FOIA appeal sent by email on 6/15/26. Per statute, that this FOIA appeal is considered received by the county on 6/23/26, which is today. And the board of commissioners must consider the FOIA appeal and make a decision within 10 business days after receiving the written appeal. The county board may reverse a FOIA denial, issue a written notice to requesting the person upholding the FOIA denial, or reverse a FOIA denial in part and issue a written notice upholding the FOIA denial in part. The board of commissioners is also in receipt of Ms. Bogman's correspondence on June 17th, 18th, and 19th, which includes the exhibits, and copies have been provided to the board of commissioners. Ms. Bogman's May 29th FOIA request asked for several public records from the Cheboygan County NDHS office. Cheboygan County and Cheboygan County Board of Commissioners do not have access to these requested public records. These are maintained by Michigan Department of Health and Human Service Office, which is a state agency, not a county agency, and or the county, Cheboygan County courts. The FOIA denial that's provided to Ms. Bogman is denied because the documents in possession of the courts, if there are any, are not public records and are not subject to production under response to FOIA requests. Ms. Bogman has also been notified if she does have a case in court, she can request documents from the court.
I would recommend denial as well. The board would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion, sir,
Thank
to
you.
deny the FOIA appeal.
Thank you, Mike. Moved and supported. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Ostman,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster,
Yes.
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
and Commissioner Newman.
Thank you, Board. That's 7-0 as well. We're down to the add-on K, subordination of requests from private property that this building department and our planning department, yours ago, had a mortgage. That's the 1K that was added.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, subordination agreement, and authorize the board chair to sign.
Okay, Support?
Support.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Warfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Ostman,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Eustace,
Yes.
Commissioner Claremont,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangster.
Yes.
Thank you, Board. That's carried 7-0 as well. We're down to citizens' comments.
Morning, Commissioners. John Studer.
Morning, John.
Morning. I've been attending these commissioner meetings religiously for the last 6 years. And along the way, I've been appointed to 3 county positions. And unfortunately, 3 years ago, I broke my ankle, and I've since had 2 ankle surgeries. The last one was surgery cut some nerves, so my foot will never be right. Well, last Monday, had a court hearing to try and recover my expenses for my civil infraction of the person that created the hazard I got hurt on. Well, Judge Gothier ruled, based on a letter from List County's legal counsel, that I had no authority to be on the property. He basically threw it out, basing the majority of it off of Ms. Kaufman's letter, which she never, ever spoke to me about. So I would like to give this board my perspective as to what transpired that day. And then read legal counsel's letter and get your perspective as to if any of it even is close to corresponding. So basically, 3 years ago, May 16th, I received a phone call from Laz Sarabian, Mullet Township Supervisor, telling me one of his constituents had a planning and zoning issue, wanted to know if I could follow up with her and help. I'll give her a call and see if I'm able to, absolutely. An elected official asked me to, so why wouldn't I? So I called Ms. Bogner and agreed I had a planning and zoning site visit that same day in that area, so I agreed to meet her at her place on the lake there. I met with her and her neighbor, Peter Rowe. We walked out on her deeded easement out to the lake shore where she showed me the gentleman had blocked the lake shore with great big boulders for access to the lake supposedly. He extended his lakefront property out into the lake. He planted trees in their easement, put a fence a foot on the neighbor's property. And then at the end of the conversation, she said he took all of our stuff out of the lake and stuck it in the neighbor's property. Well, in order to see what he'd done with their property, I stepped up onto that boulder to look around the fence, stepped off the boulder and into a hole and broke my leg and my ankle, and it's been downhill ever since. We receive all of our instruction for planning and zoning through MSU Extension. So we take all our classes, all our direction comes from them, basically. According to the responsibilities, planning and zoning board members, responsibilities addressing complaints, board members can respond to complaints about zoning issues, ensuring that the local regulations are upheld, ensuring compliance. They monitor adherence to zoning laws and can take action if violations occur. Public engagement. Board members often engage with the community to understand their concerns and provide information about the zoning process. I feel that's what I was doing. I was in my job duties when I was there. This is Ms. Kaufman's letter. Our firm represents Cheboygan County. Please accept this response to your follow-up questions to the Planning and Zoning Department regarding the department's recent production of documents in response to a subpoena. In particular, you asked for clarification regarding why the county directed John Studer to be at the Heinz property on May 16th, 23. You noted that the county had not produced any responsive documents addressing Mr. Studer's May 16th site visit. You also noted that the only official complaint by Ms. Bogner was from 2022, the year before Mr. Studer visited the site. You asked the county to produce all relevant documents or explain if there were no additional responsive documents. Please allow this letter to confirm that Cheboygan County has no further responsive documents. Please allow this letter to further explain Mr. Studer's authorities as an appointed county planning commissioner as regards to the specific incident in question. Mr. Studer is an appointed planning commissioner. As a PC member, he is authorized to visit sites that are subject of an application before the planning commission, familiarize himself with the property. Any such site visit must be made from the public right of way unless the property owner applicant has otherwise authorized PC members to enter the property. Mr. Studer was not authorized as a planning commission member to go to the Heinz property in May 2023. There was no pending land use application that would have prompted Mr. Studer to go to the property for inspection purposes. Instead, it's the county's best understanding that Mr. Studer went to the property after he received a complaint about the home being built on site from a member of the public. The home under construction on the property had already received a zoning permit for construction approved by the county planning and zoning staff. Mr. Studer is a planning and zoning commissioner, not county planning and zoning staff. Mr. Studer is not assigned to perform zoning permit inspections or code violation inspections. According to the county, did not authorize Mr. Studer to go to the Heinz property on May 16th or investigate any zoning violation complaint. Well, Ms. Kaufman's letter clearly says that I wasn't supposed to be there, but according to MSU Extension, it says that's exactly my job duties. And with the recent flooding we just had in the county, it's been quite clear that anybody that does anything on our lake shore needs to talk to the county and go to county planning and zoning. So I was there to document those planning and zoning issues. I wasn't on the Heinz property, I was on her deeded easement. So I really just, I guess I'm at a loss at this point, because I was there doing my job, and now I feel like I've been thrown under the bus by the county. So it's really making me question why, or if I even want to continue giving of myself to this county any further. So I don't know where to go from here, but I at least wanted to make this board aware of what legal counsel had said and what's transpired.
John, were you covered by comp?
Yes, I was. Workman's comp was taking care of all of my medical stuff. I didn't lose any wages. My personal business, I lost a lot of wages. But from the county aspect of it, I didn't miss any money. But they did take care of my medical stuff, which is kind of a double-edged sword. You know, it's kind of hard to say I wasn't there as an employee of the county when I'm receiving workman's comp benefits for my medical stuff. So Judge Gottier ruled, and his first statement wasn't based on Catherine Hoffman's letter. There was other stuff beyond that, but that's what he based it on. So I don't feel her letter was very accurate. And the fact that she never had any conversation with me to find out the facts before she wrote this, it's unacceptable. Like, it's beyond words, disgusting. So, open to any direction this board might have. So,
Steve, what, any questions for John?
I guess the first question, Mr. Stevens was there as part of the planning commission. In accordance with, and I'm just going by the letter you read, I guess I'm confused too. If workman's comp covered him, how then could he not be representing the county?
Who authorized the workman's comp? Workman's comp cases are the most difficult in the world to prevail.
Right.
You know, from my experience, and you know, the fact that he prevailed there, and I think he should have prevailed. I'm confused as to the disconnect when we get to the other side of this coin.
Yeah, who authorized the workman's comp?
That's
That would be my first question. And then,
For years, planning and zoning, the members have gone out to the sites and examined and looked at the sites to help them determine how they should rule when they meet. For years, that's been going on. That's why comps covers it.
and I think we're gonna have, and this is just my opinion, but I think we're gonna have a discussion in reference to our civil council that wrote this letter later today, I believe. And so I question that legal counsel's advice.
I guess I did have another question, sir, if I may, for Mr. Studer. The violation that occurred out there at Holland Lake, I do recall Ms. Bonner coming and speaking to our group. It's been a while, I don't believe you were here, sir, at the time, but can you tell us, remind me a little bit about what happened there?
to my knowledge, Eagle even got involved over him extending his property into the lake. And
That's what I thought I recalled.
I don't know what happened beyond that, but Eagle was involved with the process. So there was clearly some planning and zoning violations going on, or else Eagle wouldn't have been there
guess I have one other question for you, sir. Have you ever been given a job description that details what you shall and shall not do as a county or as a planning and zoning board member?
Other than the initial classes of the MSU extension, there's been nothing.
Well, it seems like MSU sees it. If you read what, what you read to us as factual, it seems like MSU sees your responsibility the same way I guess I would have, which would be, if you had come to me and said, Commissioner Warfield, I got an inquiry from a township supervisor asking, that I look into this, I would have said, John, go do your job. So I'm not quite sure how we wound up where we are. And let me just clarify one other thing. If I understand correctly, you were seeking compensation from the Hines family, the owner of the property. And because of this letter, our judge ruled that, and how was that ruled upon? That if I remember correctly from your sharing the story with me, the legal justification was that Dawn Bodner did not have the authority to give permission to walk on her mother's property.
Correct.
I don't understand the law, but, the law is the law at times. But is there something you'd like to see this county do? Your service to our county is greatly appreciated. You've been an active participant in our veterans groups. You've been active in all kinds of things, John, and your service is greatly appreciated. Is there something you'd like to see this county do? I don't know what we can, if there is anything that we could do.
I don't honestly know if there is anything you do, but I do believe that if the judge would have received a letter from the county saying that Mr. Studer was there as an official representative of the county, these are the planning and zoning violations that Mr. Hines had committed, and that Mr. Studer was on this boat and deeded easement, not the Hines property, the judge might have had a whole different perspective in my case. So that's the only reason I wanted to bring this attention to the board, and hopefully legal counsel or whatever. Like, I don't know what to ask you people, but I'm just glad to make you aware of what's happening in my life right now.
One last question.
Yeah.
Mr. Studer, is there an appellate process available to you?
There is an appellate process. I've talked to one appellate attorney, and his quote was $10,000 to get started. So I made $3,000 a year. I broke my ankle, and I'll come up with the money to appeal this, and I have to. I'm never going to be right. I can't walk. I can't run. I can't climb. So yeah, I can't roll over and say this is okay in any way. So I am going to do everything I can to appeal this. Yes.
Mr. Sheriff, you said that the workman's comp had paid your wage or?
They've covered my medical expenses, no lost wages, no.
Had you asked them, I mean, I know part of workman's comp is to also make your wage whole. Had there been a process, is it MMRMA that's our representative or no?
I believe the issue with that, like Mr. Newman, is that the lost wages were for my personal business, not the county job that I got hurt. So,
And the lost wages on the planning commissioner's income would be insignificant anyway, because your income is insignificant.
correct.